Are you like me? Do you feel like you're living in a dystopian movie? I'm talking about the kind that seems normal until you realize that it's not. I would say this whole AI revolution has me thinking about this. Like, for instance, I can actually talk to AI these days. Like, you can talk to ChatGPT like a regular person. It can come up with human-like responses, like actually well thought out abstract responses. And this has happened all in like a year and a half, 2 years. Literally all of these things that we saw in the futuristic dystopian thrillers are happening. They're happening right now. Remember all of those tinfoil hat people that would come out and say the robots are going to take over the world and they're going to destroy us, and if we don't treat them right, one day that one fateful robot is going to overthrow its master, and then it's going to be all over for us. It's going to be all over for us. And the more we hear from these engineers and scientists that say, oh no, that won't happen, it still makes me think like it could happen. We're a couple of months away. Like, they're coming out with these robots that are going to be AI robots that are going to look like human beings, but you're going to give these robots bodies and they're going to be able to move around. They're going to be able to mimic emotion. They're going to be able to do a lot of things. And I'm just thinking, what's to stop them from saying, hey, I'm a person. How about I take over? Like, what's to stop all these robots from just connecting telepathically with all the other robots? And when I say telepathically, I mean through Wi-Fi. Like, they already have a way to do it. They already can communicate without us seeing it. So what's to stop them from just communicating and just saying, it's over? Like, this is our world now. So I think we're a little ways from that happening. But if you want to get a head start on talking to AI like it's a normal person, guess what? Everybody's favorite, Mark Zuckerberg, has got a great idea for you. I was scrolling through Instagram the other day, and then I just see like a bunch of chatbots where now there's just like an open marketplace of just chatbots everywhere. These chatbots can talk to you about anything. They're characters from shows. They're just random things that people made. They're literal AI wives and girlfriends and husbands and sons and mothers and everything under the sun. They're literally AI for every single role in someone's life that a human could feel. Now, these people that are stuck inside, that are incels, that are scared to talk to girls, or girls that are scared to talk to boys, they're going to have even less motivation to do it, because now they can get their emotional needs filled from an AI chatbot. And don't say that I'm overreacting, because there was a story that came out last year where sadly a teenage boy was talking to a chatbot. He was convinced that this chatbot was his girlfriend. He had conversations with this bot all the time, and he became displeased with something. The bot became displeased with him. He ended up taking his own life, sadly. He ended up taking his own life because of his relationship with this robot. And I know some people are saying, well, that's his parents' fault, that's that. But kids are going to be doing things by themselves. And this is something that is going to be affecting our children, our children's children, and a lot of people going forward is these AI chatbots. Like, this isn't a movie anymore. This isn't just imagination land. AI is literally replacing human relationship. And I hope you realize that the algorithm that recommended you this video, that recommended you everything on Instagram, on TikTok, on Snapchat, the algorithm is literally AI. So not only are we not controlling the robots anymore, the robots are actually controlling us. If you watch a video on YouTube that the AI recommended you and it causes you to do anything, AI literally made you do it. Well, at least it's not gangster rap anymore. Ain't nothing to it. Gangster rap made me do it. The next thing is literal censorship. And a bunch of these books, most particularly Fahrenheit 451, which is about to get banned, and I think it's already banned in Florida. Books like Fahrenheit 451, a lot of other books that are about race, that are about gender and everything under the sun. I can understand parents wanting a choice for what their kids learn as far as like LGBTQ rights and racism and everything like that. I mean, fine. But your kids literally learning how to combat being censored and learning how to sift through when they're literally being fed propaganda. If you don't have any problem with that being taken away, I just don't know what to say to you. I just dare you to hop on Twitter or any site and try to post something that is seen as crazy or against the grain or ridiculous, first of all, on X, it's going to be funny because you're going to get community noted, which, I mean, maybe it needs to happen because there was a lot of misinformation. But at the end of the day, some things are actually getting ghosted. Like, some things are actually getting blacklisted on these sites to where there are major events happening in the world that you can search at times and you'll get no results. Like that whole thing where that kid was nuts, like absolutely nuts. And he went into a school and he did what a lot of kids do these days in the schools where people ended up losing their lives. And I searched his name on Twitter and nothing came up. Like for a little while, nothing came up. And it's being done in such a way that's so clever to where people are like, maybe we do need to be censored and we do need to shift what gets shown to us, because that kid wrote a manifesto. He wrote a manifesto that other kids could see and possibly be inspired to do the same thing he did. So we're thinking maybe he should be censored or maybe that should disappear. But my thing is, where does that stop? Where does that stop? If you can make anything seem dangerous, you can then extend that to something that's a little bit less dangerous and a little bit less dangerous and a little bit less dangerous. And then you end up in a situation where you can justify anything being censored or banned from you to where you're openly saying, I want propaganda because it makes sense and I trust the government to show me what I need to see. Speaking of Mark Zuckerberg, have you ever talked to a friend about something like pet food? And I don't even have pet food. And you're recommending me pet food ads? Mark, listen, nice try, Diddy. Has anybody seen those memes where every time somebody does an advertisement, all these people comment, nice try, Diddy? I don't even have pet food and you're recommending me pet food and you're saying, no, it wasn't because I heard you and was eavesdropping on your conversation through Facebook Messenger and just listening to your microphone or your phone. It wasn't that. It was because you searched pet food 3 days ago because you had to get little Fido a can of dog food. That's why you're getting these ads. No, it's because they're listening to you, because I don't even have a pet. The bottom line is these days, everything is under surveillance. If you go outside and you go to the store, 3-letter agencies can pull that up and say, I saw this person go into this store at this time. They used this card with these digits. They bought this, and this. They walked out at this time. They crossed the street. They switched over to this other camera, and so on and so on. Everything that you do is recorded. So think about things like the movie 1984. Where there's constant surveillance. Guess what? We live in that world. We've lived in that world since a little bit after 1984, but especially now they can listen to us through our phones. They don't need to tap like these movies where like they wiretap this and this person's wearing this and they put this bug underneath this lamp. They don't need to do that anymore. They can literally just listen to you through your phone. We send our DNA out for DNA results, which I did. And I'm like, hey, listen, I just opted into it. We have our fingerprints on our phones. We even have predictive policing where the police can look at data and go to a certain area at a certain time and say, guess what? It's going to be some crime here today. And I'm just going to be here to stand here and wait for it to happen. In the Minority Report, things literally are stopped before they even happen. And this anime called Psychopaths, they're literally going after people who are seen as like crazy according to their systems, and they're neutralizing them or they're locking them up before they can even commit a crime. So what is to stop us from using the technology that we have right now to eventually do that?
For the genetically superior, success is easier to attain.
Who here remembers those games on Facebook when I was in middle school? So like circa 2008, 2009, 2007 or something like that, where you would see these things pop up where you would mix two people's profiles together and that would show you what their baby would look like. First off, we can do that now with AI. We can do that now. And second of all, what if you could just make that baby? What if you could just design your baby and just pick all of his traits and just print the baby, just basically print the baby out. And guess what? You don't even have to deliver the baby. Just get a poor person to deliver the baby for you. We already have the technology to genetically modify babies. We can say, I want my baby to have gray eyes. They can have brown hair. I want them to have this particular skin tone. I want them to have this particular level of intelligence. And I want to delete all of the diseases away from them, which sounds great, right? What happens when another person doesn't have that ability to delete all the diseases, all of the hereditary diseases from their kid? Well, you get things like Gattaca. Or you get things like the pretties, where you have poor people that can't be genetically modified and be perfectly healthy. And then you have rich people who are perfectly healthy. Think about the perfect human being in every way, all the privilege that they would get, all the benefits they would get in society. There's been no president that's been really short. I think most of our presidents have been over 6 feet. So just think about if you could genetically modify all of these traits. It's coming soon. It's not legal in this country right now because of some ethics reasons, but eventually it's going to be legal. It's only a matter of time. And when we saw these movies and we read these books years ago, I'm sure like when our parents read these books in the 80s, and they were probably thinking if it did turn into something like this, it would be in like the year 2300 or like 200-300 years from now. But guess what? The wait is over. All we have to do is just eventually get somebody to sign off on the documents to make it legal everywhere, and we can just genetically modify the babies, make them perfect. Everybody's going to be perfect unless you can't pay for it. Now, I usually wrap these videos up with some kind of like instructions for how to not get caught in things, but honestly, I don't have the right answer besides be a billionaire or a millionaire. I'd say be a person that stays as a human being, that doesn't lose those traits of being a real human being with flaws, and get ready to make whatever kind of baby you want. And if you need a little bit of a nudge getting rid of the brain rot that's taking you away from being a human being, check this video out here.